Hello and welcome back to the 90s Mag podcast, your regular Newcastle United podcast hosted by three lifelong Newcastle United fans. Myself, D-Man, joined by my co-host Jefferson and AC. How you guys doing? Good?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah?
What's up?
Back in the building. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Coming off the back of the much needed 3 points against Southampton. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hard fought. But
yeah. I got some life back from that game, but yeah. I'm back.
But so this is the first preview of the season. Obviously got the 3 points Southampton, so now the boys travel down to the Vitality to face Bournemouth. Is the Vitality right? Name stadium?
Yeah, Vitality Stadium.
Yeah.
Sunday kickoff. I think it's 2:00. So we'll be live on TV.
Super Sunday.
Super
Sunday.
Yeah, the beginning of Super Sunday. But yeah, should be an interesting game. First of all, you guys confident? Excited? What do you reckon?
Oh man. So first of all, we have to think about how record going to Vitality Stadium under Eddie Howe. I don't know if there's some witch doctor over Eddie Howe's head when it goes over there, because we don't seem to get 3 points when we go there, and Bournemouth always give us a tough challenge. And I think though it's going to be a tough one. I'm still not even sure what the score could be as a prediction. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm conflicted. How about you, Jefferson?
Yeah, I think the way we played with 11 players, although it wasn't very long, so it's hard to assess, it doesn't give me confidence. And I don't think we have the greatest of records at the Vitality. I think it's literally 2 wins, 3 draws, and a defeat in the Premier League. So,
but saying that though,
I can see a draw. I can see a draw come in.
But you say the record's not great. Am I right in saying that they've got I'm not sure if it's true, but they've got 1 win in 9 attempts against us, in both home and away. I think it's 1 win in 9. So you could put a positive spin on it, maybe that they can't beat us. Maybe that's why you think draw, Jefferson.
So was that 1 win last season when I always remember we were playing in our green kit? I always remember that vividly.
Yeah. Because I can't remember other than that. I can't remember them beating us recently, other than that particular one.
They've never beaten us at St James's. No way.
No.
Now, before we look at how we're going to line up, a random thought came to me the other day, especially under Eddie Howe. When was the last time Callum Wilson played against Bournemouth? Because he always seems to be injured against Bournemouth.
Did he play in the game we lost 2-0?
What, last season?
Yeah.
No, he didn't play.
No. Barely. Bruno didn't play.
I think that was November. Because I think that was November, and he got injured in the game against Man United in December, wasn't it?
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure he didn't.
When he pulled his calf?
I'm pretty sure he didn't play against Bournemouth that day.
So
he played the game before, and then he had a random injury that kept him out against this one just before kickoff, I think it was, or the day before kickoff or something, and he couldn't play. And then the home game he didn't play, because I was there for that one. He didn't play. And then the season before that, I don't think he played both games either.
Yeah, and I'm trying to track back a little bit, even the COVID days. Did he? Because I'm trying to remember. There's obviously a really good clip. That might be a different team completely, of Matt Ritchie in the background. We love playing away. I don't know if it was Bournemouth that game, but
maybe that's
Leicester. That was Leicester.
Leicester, okay.
Yeah.
We love playing away.
Willock was on fire.
Ritchie,
I still remember that goal Willock scored, man. He looked electric. And Callum got. I don't know if you lot remember under Steve Bruce. I think we scored a goal where we done over 20 passes.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Shelvey had a good day that day as well.
Boy, bring back the memories, boy. All right, so this particular game now, obviously we know how we lined up against Southampton. Do you see any, other than the obvious, Fabian Schär suspended, do you see any other changes in the starting lineup? Or would you like to see any other changes in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more or less the same. I think let's start from the back. I think it'd be wise to probably start with Hall. I think we all kind of agreed it's quite good to have Kelly coming on as an impact sub in that position. But at the same time, maybe also Kelly's gonna be facing his old club as well. This is gonna be one of those ones under the lights for him. But I think that'd be a wise thing to do. I'm thinking about the left wing position. I don't know the status of Gordon, and I wonder in this scenario, it might be best to start Barnes because, like I said before, Barnes looked good in pre-season. Start him, switch things up a little bit. Don't be afraid to do it. That's
Okay.
what I would think.
Jefferson, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say that I would have just said just start Barnes because I think Gordon needs time to get up to speed, and actually he can make a really good impact potentially in those last 30 minutes, stretch the game out as well if needs be as well. So I think start Barnes because I think it'll give Barnes a little bit of confidence having a start as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Boosts his morale and stuff as well.
So do you think that Eddie will make that change, or is this just what you guys hope to see? Given how Eddie tends to line up.
This is definitely two different things here.
Yeah.
Will Eddie Howe do it? That's another question. I don't think Eddie Howe will do it personally.
Okay, so obviously we're hoping that we end the game with 11 men. Yeah, so let's assume that we do. Do you think there's going to be a lot more control in this game, a lot more possession, or do you think we're going to play the same way, as in sit back and try to hit them on the break, transition that kind of way, Jefferson?
Yeah, I think the key to this is actually kind of the formula we did against Wolves at home, and Spurs at home, or Villa away to an extent last season, is stay compact, use our pace, and hit them on the break. Because I actually think, in terms of getting the ball down and playing it, Bournemouth will probably be, more well drilled than us. And actually, I had a look, and one of the signings, Dean Hoyson, who we were actually linked with earlier in the summer, is actually rated as one of the top centre backs in Europe in terms of passes attempted from the back. So it's clear that he's been signed to kind of carry out this possession style based play from the back. Neto's a safe pair of hands, so it allows the back line to push up a little bit further. So I think there will be stages where under the cosh they do have threats, so we may have to stay compact and then look to hit them on the break. And I think, to be honest, when the times we executed that, it actually played to our strengths. And I remember particularly Man United under Solskjaer, the seasons they finished second and third. That's the way they played. They had, I think, Dan James, Martial, and Rashford on the break. So if you've got pace, that's a good way to play. Obviously, it's not the most exciting on the eye, but listen, if we're looking for a snatch and grab, we know we want 6 points out of 6. That might just be the way to go.
A couple of things on that. Looking at the way, I don't know if you lot saw the Forest Bournemouth game at the weekend, but Bournemouth seemed to be quite susceptible to the forwards. Paisley was cutting in, right? Cutting in from the sidelines. And we know Gordon likes to do that, right? But I was just thinking, I mean, maybe this is a stretch, and he's not my favourite guy in it, but this might be a game for Miggy, because Miggy loves to cut in and bang, play the 1-2 with Bruno, whatever. But Eddie might be thinking this might be his kind of game. Yeah, this might be his kind of game. But similarly, Bournemouth forwards like to do the same as well. So we're gonna have to be, and this is where Hall's gonna be tested a lot. Yeah, with them cutting inside. Whether or not he'll be able to handle it, I don't know. Whether Eddie Howe thinks maybe Kelly's got to be more defensively secure, but then obviously what Hall gives you going forward as well, I think is a bit more than Kelly as well. So it's going to be, I expect goals. And Jefferson, you mentioned about getting the 6 points, right? 6 from 6. Do you know when the last time we got 6 from 6 in the Premier League to a Premier League campaign?
No.
No? AC, do you?
Oh man, I really want to say it's that season that we got Champions League, but I don't think it is.
No, it's not. Yeah.
When was this?
97, 98.
What?
Yeah, Kenny Dalglish. Yeah.
We've never won 2 games on the trot.
No.
Are you kidding me?
But remember, under Eddie Howe, this is the first time we've actually started winning fashion, really, like being confident. But under Steve Bruce, you think we've got two games,
Wait.
on the strong?
Even
You
under
telling me-
Pardew, wasn't there
That's
a time we went on that
exactly.
winning run?
Well, this is what I heard, didn't it?
I was
I
thinking
heard
about
this stat
Pardew as
today.
well.
I don't know if it's true. I heard this stat today. Yeah. 2 wins from 2.
Nah, man, I gotta look this up.
98.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah. So
Pardew
anyone
must
watching,
have got back-to-back wins.
anyone
Pardew
watching
must have.
can look it up in it. I might be wrong, but this is what I heard, isn't it?
Kenny
This is what I heard.
People, hit us up in the comments. If you
Because
find out, please hit us
I
up in
actually
the
hope I'm
comments.
wrong because that's embarrassing. But then
If-
don't be gone. A lot of time we could have got 4 points, innit? 4 points. Because think about it. After 2 games, when has Newcastle been top of the league or joint top after 2 games in your memory? I don't really recall.
No, we did it. We did it.
We're slow
We did it.
starters,
We
I
did it
think.
in that. We were top of the league joint after 2 games in that league when we qualified for Champions League that year. We did.
Are you sure?
No, we weren't.
Because
No, we
only
drew
won-
Brighton. We drew
won
Brighton
one
second game, bruv.
We won 1 game out of our first 7 games.
Yeah. Remember?
We had
drew
so many draws.
Brighton when Pope had that masterclass when he drew 0-0. Yeah, that was our
We had
second game of the
so
season.
many draws. Remember that last minute Maximan winner against Wolves and games like that.
Why
Like,
do I think
win.
we were top of the table and then like I don't know.
But the time I think we got back-to-back wins was under Pardew, because if I remember correctly, we had Champions League form, and I think we had to win 8 out of our final 10 games, and I think we won 6 or something like that.
Yeah,
And there
I
was
do
a few
remember
of them that were in
I
a
do
row.
remember that.
Someone's got to check it.
Particularly when Cisse was on form, he was scoring in consecutive games, because I think
Yeah,
he
but
got
Cisse
13 and 13.
But Cisse joined late.
Yeah,
didn't he?
January.
Yeah. So that season, I don't know
Oh,
if we
but you're
started
talking about the first 2 games. Is that what
first
you mean?
2 games of the season.
Ah, okay. I thought you meant at any point
right.
in the season.
I thought you
No,
meant
no.
like any 2 games back to back. That's
Oh no,
wait.
we've done that bare times, bro. We've done that bare times.
Boys.
But the first 2 games of the season, yeah, opening campaign.
Oh
yeah.
I don't think
97,
we have.
98. Yeah.
It's interesting as well because with the predictions for the season, when we looked at the first fixtures, I was like, I want 9 out of 9. I'm not realizing actually that, boy, if it is, and I probably do believe now Dalglish was the last time of back-to-back getting 6 out of 6 because
Wow. Even
you're
under
right. I don't
Poppy.
really recall us ever starting our seasons well. We're a team that like you getting like 2 points maximum of your first 2, and then you gradually build your momentum throughout the season. We just generally don't start well, except for okay, it was the 1 game we won. I'm gonna take that Aston Villa win to the heart, man. That was a good win to start the season, but obviously
that was a great
second game. Boy.
But all right, so where do you think who do you think are going to be our key players for this one? Obviously you had Joe Linton the last game. Do you think he's going to carry on that theme, or do you think it's going to be more an Isak or somebody else, Jefferson?
Yeah, I think again this is a game where it could be very cagey. It might be similar to, you remember Fulham away last season, where we had spells where we didn't play very well, and then I think we made some substitutions, and then we turned it on
Us. Yeah.
in that last 25 minutes, and the quality told. So I think it might stay true to that. And in that instance, I remember predicting that day that sort of Bruno would be the difference maker, but I thought in terms of an assist, not in terms of a goal. So I think Bruno's the one where we're looking to be further up the pitch at some point, and we need him to create an opportunity. And then ideally anyone to stick it away, really.
I think it's a tough one. Something told me this is going to be similar. Remember we played Forest last season at their ground, and I think we beat them 2-1. And Bruno scored both of the goals. 3-2. And Bruno got man of the match, and he got 2 goals, I think it was.
He scored that header, didn't he, or something?
Yeah. I think it's going to be. I think he's going to be the difference, because obviously he was missing last time we played Bournemouth, right? At their place. I think he would have a very key role to play, and him and Isak. I think him and Isak could be the difference. If we are to collect the 3 points, I think him and Isak could be instrumental. Isak had a really quiet game on Saturday. No fault of his own. Gone down to 10 minutes, had to do a lot of work up the top, chasing balls and stuff. got the assist, but didn't really get any clear-cut opportunities, really. I think he had one, maybe,
no.
where he kind of tried to square and stuff like that. But I think, he'll be sniffing out the goals this time round, and I think he's going to have a key role to play. So, AC, what do you reckon?
Yeah, just to echo you about Alexander Isak there, I think he's going to be hungry to get on the score sheet and start, his goals for the season. And I can definitely see that. I can see Bournemouth defense struggling a little bit with him at times because he's going to be like, what he's like. He's get his legs over the ball a little bit. But just to echo you both as well, like Bruno, I think he could be the difference maker here hugely, mainly because I always just got horrible views of that last time we were there in that green kit. I always said, because I remember that season as well, I think people were just saying that green kit is bad luck, man. We don't win in that green kit. But I think Bruno is going to be really important for us. I can see him doing some nice, tidy through balls. And to be honest, he was doing, despite in that first segment of 15 minutes against Southampton, he was still playing those little passes and stuff, I can see him doing that against Bournemouth quite well.
Does his fitness worry you? Because obviously he's not up to speed yet. Didn't have much of a pre-season, and he looked sluggish in that first half against Southampton. And then obviously with the 10 men, he had to do a lot of running and making up a lot of ground.
But this is where I think his brother, Mr. Joe Linton, comes in place. I can definitely see these two doing the 1-2s and stuff and trying to thing. And Joe Linton's going to have that momentum and adrenaline still, I think, and it's going to be hard to hold him back. But I would like to see, I know he probably can't start in this game, but I would like to see Willock get a bit of play time. I think I really want to see him like come into the play quite well. I think he's, he's such a good player that you got to start building up his minutes basically. And I'd like to see him get some time. But that right-hand side, you said Miggy to possibly start. I probably would stick with Murphy, though, in my opinion. I think Murphy, he did have a good preseason, despite, you want to call it how you see it, but people are like, oh, it doesn't count. It's only preseason. But, I think with Murphy, he's going to cross the ball into the box, right? Where Miggy's a bit more, I want to cut inside and I'm going to try shoot. Murphy's going to offer a bit more of like trying to assist Isak in that box. That's what we need.
So Jefferson, is there anything about or any particular players in Bournemouth that concern you, or what's the main concern that we should have going into the game, do you think?
Well, I've mentioned Huijsen. Not sure if he'll start, but I'm going to talk a little bit about Evan Nielsen, and I'm not sure if he'll be fit enough to start. But I remember this boy, seeing him in the Champions League. So this is the caliber of striker they've signed for around, I think it's £35 million, and you'll see here that he's basically got a kind of a better goals per 90 ratio than Solanke, and very similar xG as well. So you can see very clearly they've tried to fill that gap, that Solanke hole, where I think Solanke got, wasn't it 20 league goals last season?
19, I think it was. I think it was
19.
Yeah.
Now for a team like Bournemouth, that's really good. And I think Evan Nielsen's known for sort of being decent in the box, but needs to improve his aerial ability. But I think that might suit Bournemouth in the sense that they're going to play the ball on the floor. So I think he is definitely one to watch out for. The other one who I think is slowly improving, and maybe because I'm biased, because I'm a Black Star, is Antoine Semenyo. He did decent against Forest last week. He's got a goal in him. His previous record last season, I believe, was 32 games, 8 goals. So listen, doesn't look like quite a threat. But what you notice with the attacking players for Bournemouth, the likes of Tavernier, Jaden Anthony, Antoine Semenyo, they're all quick, can drop the shoulder and pop off a shot. So we're gonna have to be reliant on Nick Pope being on top form because we can be caught out. But I would say those are the two that kind of worry me a bit. If Evan Nielsen's starting, I think he will want to make an impression. He will want to make that number 9 spot his. And I actually think, and this is no offense to Bournemouth, but I think he's a striker that potentially could play in a top 6 club. So one to watch out for sure.
Okay. AC, anything you want to add for that, or?
I think Jefferson's told it really well there. I think there's not much to it to add. I think Semenyo is probably the biggest threat on that side. So we're talking about Tino versus him, which is going to be quite interesting because Semenyo plays on the left-hand side. It's quite interesting actually because during the summer I did manage to see Bournemouth actually do a pre-season game, and Semenyo did play. He come on second half, and he is quick. Like, do not front. He is quick.
What side did he play on?
Plays on the left-hand side. He did in that
Left.
game anyway.
So he's up against Tino.
Yeah, Tino. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And they got Sinistera as well, who's also quite lively.
Clivert
as well.
Yeah. And I think actually
players.
And what they do with Semenyo, he actually can play both sides. So sometimes Bournemouth he'll drop onto the next side, and they switch things up quite a bit. Their coach, I think we have to talk about their coach a little bit. Is that this is a guy who knows how to do it, and he's got that team set up quite well. So once again, we know Bournemouth is a small pitch, right? It's like five-a-side football in there. it's gonna be crowded, right? Good old on the AstroTurf and that, but body to body in that middle, you got to hit, you'll be quick with it. But once again, the midfield battle, I keep thinking about it, and I think you're right. I think they're going to try to keep it on the ball on the floor. To be honest, if they start throwing the crosses in, we've got big Dan Burn at centre back. He's going to.
They know better than that. They know better than to throw the crosses in because that will clean up every day.
Dan Burn's just going to be like
all day. But you know what concerns me though is two things. First of all, Bournemouth like to play football, yeah, and they're a better footballing team than Southampton, and we saw what Southampton did for the first half, especially the first half hour before the sending off, and we couldn't live with them, right? So Bournemouth, we expect them that they have more possession of the ball, and the intricate passing that they're going to do, and they're quick with it as well, could cause us problems, right? So we're gonna have to deal with that from early. Right, maybe use our physicality or whatever. But also, just
come in, boy.
Yeah, but generally, because it sounds bad, but because we're away from home, yeah, and our away form was shocking last season, right? I am scared every time we go away from home, and every time we're on live on Sky Sports, bro. Yeah, for everyone, we seem to embarrass ourselves. It's ridiculous. Like we saw Bournemouth played us away from on Sky last season, and we saw what happened there. Yeah, look how many times we went away from home last season on TV and got clapped. Yeah, this better change. This better be different. We've got the players back. There's no injuries or very little injuries.
I wanna think that like with the last season, I'm trying to cut it off of like that was just last season. This cannot bleed into this season. It just cannot.
What if it does? What if we lose? What if we lose this one?
Well, to be honest, if I'm gonna say this now, if we lose this game and we lose it quite badly, that thin ice starts cracking early for me anyway, because I don't think. Listen, and we know about this already, that this season is the season to finish in top 4. We have no European football to play. We've got the domestic cups by our side. We have to focus on getting top 4. This away fixture, you have to win. A draw is not even acceptable, in my opinion. You have to win this game.
Because we saw the fixture. When we went through the fixture list when it came out, we said up until the Man City game, yeah, most of those games we should be winning. And this one was one of the ones that we expected to win.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it down. I was like, have to win.
Now, I know we've got Share missing, and Kraft's going to come in more likely because we're not signing a centre-back, which is we'll get to anyway. But that alone...
God almighty, man. That's going to be a 15-minute section. Continue.
That alone, we're a better team than Bournemouth. Pound for pound, we're a better team than Bournemouth, yeah? And Eddie Howe is apparently this great manager, yeah? Going back to his stomping ground, he won't want to lose anyway. There is absolutely no excuses. No excuses. But not only should we win, yeah, we got let off bad of a performance because we had 10 men against Southampton. But that
Mm.
first half, I go back to that first half hour that we did against Southampton. That can't run again.
No, it's triggering,
That
isn't it?
cannot run again.
It's triggering.
Listen,
Yeah.
if we start like that, if we play like that, curtains.
They're
Absolute
going to bully
curtains.
us. They're going to bully us. That's the thing. The aggression has to be from the start, from kickoff. I don't care if we're not even taking that kickoff. And Bournemouth start the game. I don't know. We got to really be on that front foot and know what to expect. I really want to see a convincing win. It has to be. It has to be. And because I feel like that, despite us winning that first game, it wasn't a true game to see how we are as a team going into this season. We played
That's
so
it.
much low, but it wasn't a good analysis. I couldn't even judge it of like, did we even play well? Obviously, we did well defensively to like not allow Southampton in, and that is the
We
thing
didn't
that
create an
does give me that
opportunity.
little bit of boost of like, ooh, we're quite like a fortress at the back again.
Yeah,
That
the
feels
positive
quite good.
was the defensive display. That was the positives and the 3
Yeah.
points. But that's where it stops. Let's not sugarcoat it. Like for half an hour, we were atrocious. We
Mm,
were atrocious. And obviously the send off galvanized us and we did well defensively. And to score when we were the man down, credit to them. But this game, no excuses. No excuses.
I actually think we're
Right?
going to get slapped by City. I think it's
Oh
going to
no,
be.
City
Yeah, I
will
can
done
see us.
us.
Any side that can play better football than us, I think they're
Is
going to
that
hurt us.
City at the
But then,
Etihad as well?
yeah.
Is that away?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's away.
and Spurs is at home. I think
Yeah.
Spurs
But
at home. So
you say any team that plays better football than us will beat us, right? But there's a lot of teams that play better football than us currently, bro.
that's what I'm worried about, bro. This is what I was saying before. I want to see an evolution in the team, and it might be a small one in terms of being more confident on the ball. Because it feels like we know what the phases of play are going to be. They're going to get up get up the pitch as quick as they can and release runners. It's relentless, bro.
Mm,
The intensity, you have to mix it up. Eventually, Klopp evolved his team. They weren't playing how they were in 15, 16 and 16, 17 and to an extent 17, 18. At 18, 19, you started to see the difference. And that's what I want to see with Eddie. We can't just be run, run, run,
mm.
run, 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 run. I want to see us hold on to the ball a little bit. Be confident. Rely
Tonali,
on Bruno, Joe
Tonali,
Linton.
We need more people to hold the ball in midfield. That's the
Tonali.
problem.
When Tonali comes back, you're going to see a confidence in that midfield in terms of keeping the ball because Longstaff ain't going to be there. Yeah, Bruno is capable of keeping the ball, and Joe Linton's getting better at keeping the ball. You'll see a lot better, a bit more control. I'm not saying to the level that you want, but you'll see more than you're
I
seeing.
want the level of the point when the crowd's going, hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey.
15 passes later.
Oh,
Oh,
hey.
hey.
Hey,
That is keeping the ball.
maybe if we sign Mark Guehi, who's comfortable on the ball, you know,
Oh,
and a rap,
man.
you know.
Seriously, guys, what is
We'll get. I know you're itching to
man?
get there, but first of all,
I'm getting a headache already.
I need actual predictions. Yeah, so AC prediction for this game.
Oh, I'm still stuck on this. I'm still conflicted. I'm conflicted. I feel like Howell has to prove himself in this one, and really, we've never won a game there since he's been our manager at Vitality Stadium. But I'm going to put us there to win 2-1.
So I was gonna say 2-1, but I'm gonna back the boys. I think it'll be a convincing win. I think we're gonna win 3-1. Jefferson, you said draw, right?
Gonna go with Desmond, lads. 2-2.
2-2.
Ooh.
Not a great way to end the weekend, but
Ooh.
at least you won't lose if that's the case. But still,
Who's
boy.
your goal scorers then? Because obviously, D-Man, you've got a high score of 3 goals then from us. Who are you looking at there?
I've got individual scorers. I've got Bruno, Isak, and Joe Linton.
Boy. What about you, Jefferson?
I can see an Isak penalty, but I don't know who else will score.
Boy,
But
his penalties, his
I can
last
see
two
that.
penalties, his last two penalties ain't been the greatest. Been the greatest.
Preseason doesn't count.
Yeah, but he missed. He
Preseason
missed
doesn't
one.
count.
What's the last one he missed? Before that, he missed one on the last game. That was the last game of the season. Yeah, last game of the season when he was when he. No, what game was it?
It's Brentford last game of the season, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Brentford. It was before. When was it? Then he was arguing with Wilson, innit? And he took it and he missed it. Remember?
Burnley away.
Is that when Wilson? No.
Was it Burnley? I can't remember.
Wilson scored that game, didn't it? Wilson scored that game, didn't he?
Yeah,
he scored and he set up
Wilson did score. Yeah. He set.
That's why, and that's why Isak wanted the ball because like Wilson already scored. That's it.
No, but Isak had scored already because Wilson set up Isak.
I can't remember, man.
Yeah, but
I think there was a pen in the second half because I remember it started raining.
We clapped them, in the second half, and then Isak got the penalty.
But I think
he tried to take it.
But I think when it matters, comes down to it, I think Isak would put it away though. The guy's too smooth, man.
So.
I mean, Isak and Big Dan Burn popping up set
piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. I can see Bruno scoring for some reason. I can see him scoring. And if Harvey Barnes starts, I think Harvey Barnes will score. I think so.
Okay. He's not starting though, but we'll see.
I know it's wishful thinking, but I hope to give the boy a chance. I think he's,
I remember we got the cup game on Wednesday. Tonali's comeback.
Forest away as well, yeah.
Just quickly on that one. Does Eddie go strong on that one?
If I was him, I wouldn't. If he does, he's a damn fool.
Because we've got Spurs later in the week. Is it later in the week? Or was it?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? And then
it's the break, international
break. It's the break, isn't it? Right. So we got Spurs later in the week. In my opinion, Spurs game is more important than this Forest away game. So
100%.
you need to rest up some players. So I do not want to see Pope start this game. Do not put Dubravka in there.
Yeah, Dubravka, right back, Kraft.
I think you'll put Kraft at centre back potentially.
So who's right back?
I prefer
probably Trippier.
Maybe
Trippier if he's still there.
Trippier probably if he's still about.
Or Ashby, maybe.
Yeah, what's going on with Ashby? Ashby.
That's another thing.
What is going on with the loan situation? Like, I don't know, man. Our club is
chaos everywhere.
It's
chaos.
Snail pace. Right about now, you've got all these players not going on loan.
Let's stay focused,
What's Shola?
Shola, where you at, man?
Loan manager. Manager's still on holiday.
Legend, man. Leave him alone. Yeah.
Week the deadline. No one on loan. What's going on?
But no, this Forest game now.
Shola eating apple.
He's chilling.
Shola's just like, you want to go on loan to Scotland?
No, but I think Tonali starts this game. I think Willock starts this game. Barnes starts this game. Miggy, Osula.
Osula should start, definitely.
Yeah.
Give the guy some legs, man.
And Kelly will start in some way, shape, or form. I think.
I'm worried about him.
That's quite a strong team, isn't it?
I'm worried that we start Kelly because this injury-prone thing that's like hovering over his head worries me a bit. I think he's a bit of a. I know, but this is a bubble wrap kind of guy. He's. Listen, if he gets injured before Christmas, it's a mess. Early,
he's probably better off at centre back.
It's a mess
because I think there's less running to do at centre back,
especially against Forest.
Yeah,
because them wingers will.
Let's face it,
Chris Wood, they'll be whipping it in the box and stuff like that.
Seriously though, we should squeeze Forest squeeze it like a lemon. They should get squeezed quite easily.
That's going penalties. I'll tell you that for sure.
Nah, man, not in the first game. Come on, of the cup. No.
I think, to be honest with you, as much as we want a cup, I just think League Cup is a waste of time because it's Conference League. You know that they've relegated it to Conference League place for the winners now. Yeah, and then FA Cup.
You don't get Europa anymore.
No, it's Conference. I'm sure they said that last season.
So hold on.
So FA Cup gets you. Yeah, you're right. FA Cup gets Europa.
Liverpool won the League Cup last season, didn't it? Liverpool beat Chelsea in the League Cup final. But Chelsea qualified for Conference League through the league because Man United relegated them. So that means that they just didn't bother. They didn't bother with it.
He's seen his third tier, bruv.
So
You
that's
know?
the thing. Man United finishing 8th, won FA Cup in the new Europa.
Okay. But anyway,
So
that's
FA
by the
Cup
by.
the one we got to go for. That
Yeah.
if we're gonna go for a cup,
Well,
it's
FA
obviously
Cup.
harder to win. It's harder to win, but I just think League Cup, don't risk injuries in the squad for this cup.
But you do know, hypothetically, if we were to win that League Cup, that parade is going to be a madness. That parade
Yeah.
will be a madness, and I'll be there.
Yeah. We have to celebrate.
We win the cup.
100%.
I'm taking
One for
2
the
weeks
ages.
off work. I'm taking 2 weeks off work.
We get to the
Just
final,
like-
taking the next day off just in case, bro.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna immigrate to Newcastle. Just like man's missing. You'll be like, we'll record the podcast. I'm just gonna be like, yo, man, I'm still on Tyneside. Like,
Sorry, guys. But no, all right. So let's talk about the transfer situation or lack of, because it's just over a week until the transfer deadline. I think it's 8 days now till the transfer deadline closes. So how are you guys feeling? Because obviously we haven't really strengthened the first team. The only one notable signing we've made is Osula, third choice striker. We've still got this Mark Guehi situation hanging over our heads. We still haven't signed the right winger. What are your thoughts on the Guehi situation and the right centre back situation that we're currently looking for, AC?
ooh, what can I say, man? It's been a long time. It's radio silent at the moment. No one really knows. Sky Sports are reporting that we're still actively into it. But at the same time, now we're hearing other names being put into the hat that we're being linked with. But the thing is, though, what remains, though, is that the price on Guehi's head, in my opinion, it's too expensive. The more I think about it, the more I just think this is some serious gaslighting going on here. I don't think, he's a great player and, he would be good for us. And I still would welcome him to be in the team. But my worry is that we pay all that money. You're going to say probably goodbye to the right wing position. Or what we're going to do right wing on the loan move. And I kind of don't want us to do that, because when you do loan players like that, and we look at the situation, even with like Hall, when we loaned him, we had to pay for him this summer. It comes out your budget. It's
the
not
following season.
Yeah, exactly, the following season. So I kind of feel like, and now I know it's only like 35 mil for Hall, like Lewis Hall and stuff, and he's still a great asset to our team, but that's 35 mil of our budget this summer. So if we do the same for a right wing position, whoever that may be, let's face it, it's going to be about minimum 35 or 40 million for that position. You're better off just like be smart with the money. You're going to have, if you're going to spend like 70 million or whatever it is on Guehi, like chop it up. Spend like 40 on the right centre back, spend another 35 on the right wing, and shut up shop and be done.
And you know what? And similar to you, listen, I think 70 mil is a lot to pay for any centre back, yeah, let alone Mark Guehi. And let's be honest, Mark Guehi is not. He's a good defender. He's a very good defender. England's best defender in the Euros.
Yeah.
But at best, 50 million, right? 50 million. Considering where the market is at the moment, 50 million. However, that's what Palace value him at. So if you want him, stop dilly-dallying and get it done, right? Because apparently we're quibbling over 5 million. It makes no sense. If you're going to quibble over 5 million, you might just offer him the money and get it done, because our situation became more distressing, should I say, when Shea got sent off, right? We need a centre back, right? And now we're going to go into this Bournemouth game without a centre back.
Now. We look so desperate now.
We look so desperate, right?
And all these other clubs know that. They all know that.
Going in for 4 bids anyway.
Right.
We've been desperate and getting rejected by Tosin earlier in the summer.
And
we've been desperate since day one.
But my thing is, if you're going to go get Guehi, I don't know, 2-3 days time, you could have got him 3 days before and registered him to play for us in this Bournemouth game. It makes no sense. Now, don't get me wrong. If the deal gets done, I'll be content with it, because it does improve our team, right? In the long term.
Good first starter, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. But like you said, where does that leave us with the white ring position? Because which I believe is a more pressing position that we needed to strengthen. Because I keep saying it, Miggy Almiron is not the answer. Jacob Murphy, as much as I rate him, he's not a long-term solution to play there for the full season. He's not that consistent, right? He
And
hasn't
if
got the
you play
quality.
him, and also if you play him too much, he will get injured, I
He will
reckon,
get
as well.
injured, right? So now you're looking at the possible loans, right? Now, are we likely to get a quality right winger on loan at this particular time? Yeah, who's going to really up the levels? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
And I guess when you talk about the quality of levels of that right wing, you're talking about someone who's just going to drop in and like hit the ground running.
Right.
Because obviously we've linked with one player who he's a good player, and I think he could strive at Newcastle. You know, I'm talking about
Madueke.
yeah, from Chelsea. So I think he could work quite well, but at the same time, I don't think it's a hit the ground running at right wing. If
as good as, listen, I like Madueke, right? But it's not a case of he wants to come to us. It's a case of he being forced out of Chelsea. Does he really want to? I want a player that wants to play for Newcastle and wants to come in hungry and ready to go. He seems like, all right, then if I have to go, I will do.
Yeah, you want someone to come in who's going to believe in the project.
That's right.
Like, project players. We need project players, and I think that's the one thing about Gahey. I think behind the scenes, in his mindset, he probably believes in the project.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
You know what? The more I think about it, if we're not gonna get a David or a Torres, you guys might think this a bit outlandish, but I'm starting to understand it a bit more now. I actually think we should get Morgan Gibbs-White. You know, the reason I say this,
Jefferson.
Listen. Hear me out. He can play 8, which Eddie favors. He can play 10. So if we do somehow Eddie evolves and starts using a diamond, he can play in that position. He can also cover if, I don't know, Bruno's injured or Willock's injured. We've got another player in that sort. He can also play right wing as well. And that allows us to switch to 4-4-2, but he can also play that right wing forward position. So you're kind of signing one player, but kind of 3 players in one. Now, if they ask for 50 million, I actually think that's in the modern market. I don't think that's too bad. And I think on the basis that we've already done them a solid with Oddy, when we come to the negotiation table, we've already done business with them with Wood and Shelvey and Anderson. It could be an easier deal to get done. And I could see it. He would want to come. But going back to what you said about centre-back, there's a few things here that aren't quite right for me. Number one, our record signing is Alexander Isak. And that should remain unless we sign someone of a higher caliber than Alexander Isak.
Higher echelon.
That record signing should not be surpassed. So on the basis of it being a centre-back is insulting. Secondly, we're signing a mediocre centre-back, in my opinion. If it ends up being 70 million, I think it's embarrassing. And there's been cheaper options out there. I think there was Buongiorno. We were too slow on him. There's been a few others that we've let go. I think last year we were interested in Diakabi from Valencia. We didn't put a bid in. There's Diamande. Apparently that they're lowering the release clause demand.
I would love him at our club.
Done.
He will be so good.
Tapsoba, I think we were interested in last season. Ashworth, I think, tried that one. Didn't happen. Apparently, we're going in for him now.
But apparently, he's got a 90 million release clause.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And anyway, would he want to leave a Champions League club?
But this is
no. Do you see what I'm saying? So for me, this has all the hallmarks of the director of football wanting to have a steady relationship with the manager, and it's the first transfer, which is key. You don't want any failure going on. So it's not sensible that we're going to use a majority of our budget on a centre-back that, I'm going to be real, when we're talking about prices, Van Dijk cost 75 million, okay? And that's after, there was a big inflation at that point. That was after the Coutinho transfers and things like that, wasn't it? Or after all that craziness.
Maguire cost 80.
Maguire cost 80, and then you've also had for
They just
me
stay like robbery over there.
Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz, 65 million. Yeah. So this is the caliber we're talking about. I think Antonio Silva as well. I think it's been quoted in that 70 million range. So I don't know. Is it a case of we're just going for Premier League proven? I don't know.
Premier League proven.
I think the Premier League tax is going to be Premier League tax and English tax adds on at least 20 million, right? So
VAT.
That's what I mean. Obviously, Eddie sees something in this guy. Listen, I like him. Listen, I see him week in, week out at Palace, so I know how good this guy is. He is very good in my opinion, right? I just don't know if he's worth. Well, he's not. He's not worth 70 million, right? But again, that's Palace asking price, and I've got no problem with it. But get it done. If you want him, get it done.
Yeah, just get it done.
You start at 40 million. Palace. This is Palace. Palace don't sell unless they want to, you know. At least they went for whatever it was, 50, 60 million. 60, they've got money. They don't need to sell. They do not need to sell. But Guehi wants to leave. He wanted to leave from before the season ended. So that's the key thing. And they've only got 2 years left on his contract. Not too long down the line. Well, in 6 months, his value is going to be down to 40 million. Then he's going soon after that, he's going to be able to talk to clubs for free. Not too long after that. So they will be forced to let this go. But we are moving way too slow. Way too slow.
That's what's concerning me. I just
why don't we just do what Madrid did with Mbappe? Just say, don't worry, run your contract down. We'll come back for you in a year or two. And keep it moving. Sign somebody else.
Sign somebody else.
Somebody else.
But we're so fixated on him, we have to get it done.
That's
but
why
I'm hoping they're gone.
It does feel very Eddie Howe wants him. It feels very like so fixated. Because let's face it, Paul Mitchell has the CV to back it that like you want some good play, we can bring some players in. And I'm trying to imagine this scenario, them in this room, and Paul Mitchell's just like, look, here's the paper. Here's the list. And Ed Howe's just like, I want that one. I want that one. And he's just sticking on that one.
At the same time, if we get these players in that Eddie wants, he's got absolutely no excuses not to perform.
This podcast has got to be called No Excuses Part 2.
No excuses. Cut him. The moment he flops, they will cut him, and he have nothing to fall back on. Yeah, we
got to be careful. We're too harsh.
Listen, we've got to be ruthless.
No Excuses Part 2. This is it. No Excuses Part 2.
You never know. They might surprise us getting Bremo in as a right winger. You know what I mean?
That'd be good.
That would be good.
No,
if he gets Guehi and Bremo in, then
Bremo is such a good player. I watched the Brentford game the other day. This guy
so did Guehi, bro. He got moved.
This guy is on heat, man. I'm like, he's playing in the wrong team. Please come. And obviously, Tony's going to be leaving. Brentford team's going to go through a transition a little bit, but I would love it. And I think Brentford will probably south of 50. And I think that's still a good price for him, for his caliber.
But he's
proven he's in double digits for goals and assists consistently in seasons. Snatch him up, man. Snatch him up.
And quickly on the outgoings, just quickly, do you think Trippier and Miggy go? Both of them, or do you think one goes, one stays? We see what's happened in the reports today that Trippier wants to leave. You know that his name's been taken down from the board, one of the rooms, the private boxes at St. James's. They've taken down his name. Obviously, he's lost the captaincy now. There's rumors about his private life and whatnot, but
it's almost like they're banishing him. It feels a bit bad, but anyway.
Is he off? Is Miggy off? What do you reckon?
I think if Trippier goes, we need cash. Loan ain't enough. I don't care. Even if it's 10 million, man. We need cash. Do you know what I mean?
How much do you think
Miggy's going anywhere, man?
How much do you think he'll go for? Like realistically, Trippier?
If it's cash, 10 maximum.
That's too low, man.
Well, remember they offered, was it Bayern offered 13 last year.
Yeah. So,
and he was a year younger.
We should have bit that hand off, you know. We should have bit that hand off. But anyway.
Miggy?
He ain't going nowhere, man.
I think
he runs, and that's what the coach loves.
Honestly, if we get another right wing in, I think there's going to be Fraser Part 2. He's going to be playing.
Wants us to possibly pay that for his final years of his
He's
contract.
not going to want to leave. He's not going to leave. He's going to run out his contract. He's just going to stay there. He's going to end up playing with the under 21.
He's going to run out his contract. Hey,
Hey.
that was quite funny.
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Trippier's a hard one. It's very looking like he will leave and it will happen. But we can't loan him. And I think what the rumor was is that loaning to Everton. I'm just like, nah, man. First of all, don't help Everton. Don't help them. This is on my predictions for relegation. Do not help them, right? Because if Trippier goes there, my relegation thing's going to go out the window. They're probably going to stay up.
Our relegation thing. Trust me,
11 assists. 11 assists last year. 11 assists.
Oh, right. Tonali will make that up.
If the thing, I don't know. We say that, but I know I got on Murphy's back, but I think Murphy had 8 assists. So that shows on the right-hand side, that's 19 assists.
How many did Miggy get?
Coming from that side of the pitch. I don't know. I think he got 4 goals, but I don't know how many assists he got. Probably 1 or 2 assists, maybe. So that's a gaping hole. And Tino's not the type that's going to kind of... He's kind of in between a Wan-Bissaka and a Trippier. He's not going to... He's very good defensively, so going forward. He's not going to...
But yeah.
So that will be a huge loss for the team. It will be. And we'll need to plug that gap somewhere else on the pitch. This is why the right wing...
That's why. Yeah, thank you. That's why the right wing's important.
Okay. Well, I think we can leave it there. Been an interesting conversation. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
It's only game week 2, boy.
Listen, we got a lot more to
this
come.
will be a long ass season.
Game week 2.
It's gonna be
and
a great
I feel
season,
like
man.
we've been through the mill already.
Keep the faith, man. It's gonna be good season, man. Trust in Eddie, man. In Eddie we trust. But
that was a joke, right?
You got jokes.
He might surprise us all, innit? But
wow. You better win 4-0 against Bournemouth then. Anyway, let's go.
But yeah, no, thanks all for watching. Don't forget you can catch us on the audio on the Apple and Spotify. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, we're out. Peace.
People, we're out. Apparently,
listen, I know your game, mate, because this will be on YouTube Shorts. I ain't saying nothing.
Listen. But apparently, like, Tyndall is obviously responsible for like defense training as well, which is quite interesting. What I knew about, like, he looks after defense and Hal looks after attack. I started thinking, it's starting to make sense a little.